The Beginning. Moving to Japan by Dawn Little. Sometimes, when a window of opportunity opens, you just have to take a leap of faith and step out into the unknown. That's what happened to me when I decided to accept a job in Japan over 2 decades ago. One day in grad school, I went to submit a paper in my professor's mailbox. On the way out, I spotted a poster that read, and I paraphrase, "The Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. We will pay you to teach English in Japan. No experience needed. Japanese lessons provided." Aha! An affordable answer to my unrealized dream of studying abroad. I ripped off a postcard and applied. I interviewed at the Japan consulate, but was waitlisted. Afterwards, I had to focus on finishing my master's program and interviewing. But one day, I was notified of an opening for me and accepted. A whirlwind of activity from graduation in May to my departure in July ensued. This was a major life event, so my immediate family and relatives gathered at the airport to see me off. With this much warmth and goodwill around me, there was no room for apprehension, just excitement and anticipation. On the plane, however, elation gave way to trepidation as the other young adults in my group began to chat about all of their travels abroad and speak Japanese. Our group landed in Narita Airport, went through customs, checked into a lovely hotel, thanks to the Japanese government, and then headed out to dinner. The experience was jarring. My new colleagues didn't offer to help me order, and I was too embarrassed to ask. I was rapidly processing new revelations and hungry. Fortunately, plastic meals were on display outside each restaurant. So I brought the server outside and pointed to my order. The next morning, I managed to call home in the hotel lobby before orientation. As soon as I heard my mother's voice, a flood of tears poured out. "I made a mistake. I want to come home." She heard my distress and said yes. Look into a return flight home immediately. Then she said, "Hold on. Your dad wants to talk to you." Okay. After listening to me, he replied, "Why? Come home for what? You stay there. You'll be all right." This was before Skype and FaceTime and Zoom, and calling home to hear a familiar, comforting voice in real time was expensive. This was when people still communicated primarily by letters with stamps that took days to travel across the seas and days for the response to come. Which is why I now have a treasure trove of memories preserved on uniquely delicate Japanese stationery. This was when a map was a piece of paper, not an app, that speaks to you in your native language, telling you where you're at and how to get to your destination. This was before Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV. This was a time when foreigners had to watch local news and shows in Japanese to be informed and entertained. This was before Costco came to a nearby town. I had to adjust my taste buds or starve. Imagine my surprise when I took a big bite into a bun topped with creamy mayo, not custard, or biting into treats that looked like chocolate but were red adzuki beans instead. Who in the world eats beans for dessert? That's how my journey began. My adjustment to life in rural Japan was fast, out of necessity. Now, I teach Japanese students here, try to return to Japan once a year, and connect with my dear Japanese friends online and Skype. Now I can say, without a doubt, immersive, experiential learning, with all its ups and downs, is challenging but thoroughly fulfilling.